All right. Hello. My name is Cecilia Gillum, and I am applying for the Distinguished Modern Classroom Educator. Let's see here. I'm trying to remember. So, just really quickly, the learning sequence that you're going to be looking at is a learning sequence where the students were learning about water pollution, water quality, and how environmental scientists determine like how polluted water is. So the students were completely immersed in that process. I teach ninth through 12th grade with the bulk of my students being ninth graders and a sprinkling of 10th, 11th, and 12th. So I do have all grade levels. Again, it's environmental science. How I discovered Modern Classroom Project was actually through Screencastify. I had applied to be a part of the Screencastify cohort to work with Modern Classroom Project, but I was waitlisted. And so, because I was so interested in doing it, I then was like, okay, I really, really want to do this. So I applied to get a scholarship to do the Modern Classroom Project with a mentor. And luckily for me, I was accepted. I received a scholarship, had an awesome mentor that helped get me through that process. Believe that was back in April or May. I think I finished it in May of this year. And so that's really how I found out about it. I fell in love with it once I went and started reading on my own. And I was like, okay, I want to do this. I need some support. And then again, I was afforded a scholarship and have ever since been spreading the word to everybody and just telling people to go and apply for it. And so that was how I discovered it. And so, one thing I do want to point out when you start going through my lessons, so this is what my students would see every day when they come into the classroom. This is like my digital board where we go over our outcomes. Here, even though I've also given you a link to it, but this is the agenda that the students have access to. And then I tell them what they have to turn in. And then here's our quote of the day, because I know there was a part about like how do you motivate students. And what I do every day when we come into class is we have our quote. We go over it. I'll read it to them. I'll say something like, never sacrifice these three things: your family, your heart, or your dignity. And then I always give them like a word of advice, because that's one thing that I always wish I had when I was growing up, was somebody to kind of give me some advice. So anywho, so that's me. This is the learning sequence. So you have 3 days of what my class was immersed in, and hopefully you all enjoy it and you love it and are excited as much as I am. And again, I've infused videos, everything that you're going to need to kind of like get a full understanding of how I embrace this modern classroom project. And all I can say is, regardless to whichever way this application goes, I'm still in love with this process. I'm doing it to the fullest of extent. I'm learning as I go, I'm growing as I go, and so are my students. My students are also pushing me to become the best version of me possible, and then watching them grow and then watching them like getting involved in this experience, as you will see, is just so rewarding. So again, I thank everybody who had a hand in bringing this modern classroom project on. All right, so thank you, and yes, so bye bye.